You know, I think Drake said it plenty of times in songs where it's like a girl will be like, I'm doing this, but she's really feeling this way type thing. And it's like, I do feel like I kind of felt that way. I was just like, oh, Justin, he's straight. Like he don't really.
But that's what everybody think. I think that's the
yeah.
normal consensus with the comedians out here.
And then I think when we saw you in the airport, me and Tony saw you in the airport, and we started talking. You're like, hey, nigga, the show just got canceled. What's going on? Gotta go back. I gotta get back on the comedy grind. It's like, oh shit, this.
And you want to know why I told y'all that? I told y'all that so y'all know to humanize me.
Right.
Because people assume, like you said, he got TV shows. He done been on CBS for 6 years. He got some bread. He good.
Right.
And it's like, nigga, I'm 30.
Hollywood, I'm 30.
But I got the rest of my life. I got the rest of my life to live.
Just say it, man. It's okay.
Yo. This nigga said, because man, I'm telling you, man, because I'm
Debbie called him. He's like, oh shit, I gotta pull that back. He Debbie called himself.
That's so funny, bro. That
hold on. This is what I'll get to.
Oh.
I got the rest of my goddamn life and career to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, nigga, like it ain't over.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, no, I'm still dealing with my shit too. It's just that I don't talk about it on social media because I don't want people to just. I don't think none of us. You don't want to tell all your bad shit.
Well, I would say this too to humanize you more. To post up certain things on social media. Well, it's like because I love Stewart, and that's why I run this nigga.
Bro, because I love. Please finish your statement, but bro. It was so sincere.
Absolutely was.
And he was like, yeah, because I'm taking
Almost slipped. I almost slipped.
Almost.
Reeling it back. But I think, like you said, what humanizes you, and it's make what you want to. I don't know exactly what you want, but to humanize you is to sometimes, like, that's why I do the storytelling show that Clayton was talking about, right?
It's the best show.
And it's strictly storytelling. And I will have y'all on there. I literally just started back up. He did the first show back after 2-3 year hiatus.
I wish I could have one single tear drop.
But I think what can help that out, and people not, because I think,
I'm trying to do it more. I'm trying to do it more.
Yeah, because I've never seen you vulnerable before, like really ever.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Well,
so
now you have Fuck Your Feelings podcast. I'm vulnerable every episode.
So, and speaking of, even when it comes to like your stand up, like and not with the 13 years now that I've pretty much known you in stand up, it's like I might have heard you say something about your daughter like once or twice, and then
okay, I talk about it. Clayton was there. I talk about it more now.
Yeah, so it's like that, and that's great. That's that's the bread and butter of one people being like, oh, this is who Justin Hires is.
Right.
No, all we do was like,
right.
This is like all I knew was like you're an actor, great. I feel like great character work. Always did amazing character work, and I was just like, okay, this is like it's just he's a character in a sense,
right? Okay.
And it's just like, all right, but I know this nigga has a family because I think I might have either seen his wife at least once, at least once, because I remember after we shot some sketch at your house and it was just like go back in the room, and I was like, oh, okay, I was like, oh shit, all right. So I was like, I don't know what
I'm not gonna let him play me like that, goddamn it. I probably told her to please excuse yourself.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't disrespectful at all. It wasn't disrespectful at all. Don't. But like, but it was kind of like we're shooting or whatever.
Right.
And so it's like, but I've never. And I went to your house a few times to shoot after that. I never heard your daughter. I never heard anything.
Well,
so
I don't know if I had a daughter when we was doing those YouTube sketches. I was.
You might not have.
Yeah, I was married though, but I don't know if I had a daughter at that time.
But I think that's what's going to bring your actual fan base.
Right.
When they see
Tony Baker told me the same thing, bro. He told me the same thing, and I have been applying it. So even now. He was like, "Oh, you promote a lot, and I was, and so now, even now, like I'll make sure, like on my IG story right now, I'm laying in the bed, I'm trying to like let people know about regular shit that I'm doing. I talk about my daughter and my wife more and stuff like that to let people in.
Here's the thing,
I was trying to keep. Hold on, before you get to your point, I'm gonna tell you why I didn't. I felt like I was putting so much out publicly. I wanted something to myself.
Got you.
Like privately.
Right.
So I know for a fact. Nobody cares about my daughter and my wife as much as I do.
Of course.
And so to me is why do I need to share that with y'all when I know y'all don't care about them the way I do? So if this is my own little piece of like peace and happiness, I'm trying to keep that away. But the problem with that is people feel nowadays they don't feel like they don't know you.
Right.
Because now it used to be you want to have mystery about you.
Yep.
Now everybody want to know everything about you.
We live in that social media age where
which it can go too much.
It can't go too much.
Yes,
Niggas be crying on camera. My bitch left me. My bitch left me,
bro.
But I would say a great example of that is
Yeah.
I don't know if you know who they are, but it's
remember your thought. See,
sorry. But there's a guy on there named his name's like DeVal or something like that, and he's like he's on some shows with BET, and he has a wife and like three or four sons, right? And his like one of the reasons why he's so loved and so big is because he shows Black fatherhood. And one, if you just have a daughter, that's it, right?
Yeah, daughter. I just started showing her somewhat on my Instagram.
So you being a Black man, especially us, the way we're being kind of shit on right now, to be honest, it's like you being a Black man raising a Black daughter will be great to see from a perspective. And you don't got to show everything, of course.
Right.
Little fun things you might do, little jokes here and there.
Should I show her on the potty? Sure.
This is taking a wild turn, man. So, I mean, to me personally, I would never want to show. I personally, if I had children, I wouldn't want to show a lot of like, stuff like that because there's a lot of pervert niggas out there.
No, I was joking.
Oh yeah. But I think that's what, like you said, if people see that relationship with you and your daughter, it's like, oh, he's a family man. He's a girl dad in a sense.
You're right.
And it's just like they're going to want to either see more of that, or especially when it comes to your stand up. That's what's going to be. That's what's going to make a TV show. Like
that
Justin
is the show.
Hyers.
That's the show.
That's the Justin Hyers TV show.
Right.
And people will want to see that online first. So it'll be like, yo, to these execs or whatever, it's like, you see, niggas love my family. They love it. It gets 100,000 views every video.
Right.
Now they gotta give you that.
And I'm gonna tell you the final component. I'm gonna let CT speak. Yeah. The final component why I wasn't. First of all, that was a decision my wife and I made to not post our daughter on social media until we felt comfortable that she wanted to be there. I really only show her now because the conversation I had with Tony and Shantae Waynes told me the same thing, but also because she wanted to be on social. Like she liked being in videos.
Yeah.
The final component that was keeping me away from showing my daughter for so long, because my wife don't want to be on it at all.
Okay.
Was I never wanted to feel like I was posting her to get likes and views.
Got you. Absolutely. I rock with that. That's fair. That's 100% fair.
You told me this in the very beginning, right before you had your daughter, and I was like, I respect it. You talking to somebody that keeps my family private. There, I don't show any pictures of any of my family on social media. I post my dad because he's dead. It's like, yeah, go find him. But it's like my thing had been, and this goes back to the earlier conversation.
Like, I just met the nigga last week.
This goes back to the earlier conversation where we were talking about
I know.
Where we were talking about just like damn, I lost it.
I told you, don't you forget it, CT.
Well, it's about family, you know,
family, sharing my daughter, keeping your family.
Oh, the fame. So I saw the ugly side of popularity early on, and I was like, I don't want fame, right? I enjoy financial success and I enjoy popular amongst a group of people, but I remember, and it's funny, I used to pray to be famous, and you got to be careful what you ask for, right? So at the time it was like, oh man, the ugly side of fame. I'm like, we all see the good fame. Like you look at somebody like David Arnold, he shares his family, everybody loves him, he's this great family man. But then you look at someone like Nicki Minaj and her husband and the things that people say negatively about them, and you know, these people have families. These are real people. So if somebody doesn't like you, the ugly side of that popularity and fame is they can go then attack your family. And I was like, I don't want anybody seeing my family, right?
And maybe this is the point you go get to. I don't know if I said that a long time ago, which was if I posted a picture of my daughter and I've never seen a negative comment.
You're gonna lose it.
I'm gonna lose it, bro. I'm gonna be very upset.
Bro, my mom has a fake page. Well, I told her, I'm like, look, you can't create a page. So like she has this assumed identity online.
Yeah, my
no
mom
picture.
Too. My mom too.
And she'll be commenting on my videos, and I'm like, cool. But at the same time, I remember I went to a Facebook comment and she had commented on something, and some dude said something, and my first thought was, I will literally kill you. Like because this is somebody I hold dear, right? But to these points, you still can have people know everything about you and keep your privacy, because there are people online who know a great deal about me and, you know, my wife and just how I am, but that doesn't mean I have to show my sisters, right? So for you, I think, to go back earlier, the thing that humanized you was you being vulnerable, like you said with this podcast. But back in the day, you had no vulnerability. It was like, all right, how can I take over the world? No, this nigga's in my way. Let me do. And it was like, that's fine because you had this laser focus.
Right.
And everything that you've accomplished in this past 6, 7, 8 years has made you
led me to a podcast.
You know, no. It got you the
All
money.
roads lead to podcast.
All roads. It got you the money. It got you the credit. And it was like, all right, cool. Now I can focus on what I really want to do, which is living and being a better me.
Right.
And that's the goal, bro, for all of it. It's
that's
like when you say you're working a job, I would see you and I'm like, man, I've always had a great interaction with Keenan. Hey, man, let's hang out, right? And then, you know, you start seeing, because as we get older, you start seeing everybody has their own clan. Everybody got their own crew. So it's like straight out of comedy guys, you'll see Sydney and James, and the list goes on and on as far as people. And I'm like, I'm somebody who likes having all of these different friends. Of course, I got my core, but I love having friends from every circle.
Right.
So
I don't really have a clan. I had a little group.
It was like you and Reggie.
Me and Reggie.
Yeah.
You know?
Where is Reggie?
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? Reggie.
I mean,
Reggie lived in the OC.
Yeah.
So the dynamic, you know, we
hanging out is just not going to be. It's not as easy because the OC is a good 45 to an hour.
Exactly. And then my homeboy Brandon Phillips. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Phillips.
But he don't do stand up like all the time. So I don't see him. You know, but he cuts my hair. Shout out to Brandon.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
B feels a good guy. He called me on some shit not too long ago.
Yeah. B Phillips is a great dude, man. Great dude.
That's interesting, bro.
Yeah, so I don't have a clan, but that's what I was telling the group yesterday that was here. It was Brandy and Keenan, who else, and Willie Mack.
Oh, nice.
I told him my day one spoiled me because I've had my same friends from childhood.
Can't beat it.
When I came out here, there was no urgency or need for me to be like, let me make friends like to that capacity.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I always got them. I'm going back to Florida this summer and we gonna kick it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why, you know, I never was like, let's hang.
I started a new life out here. I had to meet people.
Right. I kind of wish I didn't know them niggas.
I think it just depends on who you mess with too. Because my core friends, I'm from here, so my core friends are here already. Right. So like, I never had the urgency either, but I just end up linking with. It was just like the people that I'm cool with. It was just like, on some music stuff, on some basketball stuff, on some sports stuff, on some just like when we end up linking and being cool, it wasn't like, let's, what kind of comedy do you like? And you know what I'm saying? It was just like, hey nigga, you watching the game day? Yeah, yo, nigga, you about to stay and watch the game.
But see, that was my other problem too. Is I'm a natural introvert. And so like even when you invite me out, I'm making myself go. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a natural introvert. Yeah. But I feel like that held me back. That holds me back. You know what I'm saying?
And that can make sense for anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
My thing, I'll give you the opposite because I don't want this to be like we shat on Justin for 2 hours.
We didn't shit on Justin.
No. But so my chip on my shoulder became seeing those different groups of friends, and I wasn't in that group, right? So I would see different groups and be like, oh, but I didn't get an invite, huh? Fuck these niggas. Like that's how my shit started. I remember I would see you do sketches with like a lot of guys, and I'm like, man, I didn't get a call, right? I would see straight out of first of all, I was seeing straight out of comedy, and it was just Tony and Chaz, and I'd be like, oh, these niggas didn't invite me for some steak, right? I would see all of these things and I would begin to get angry. And then I would be talking to my wife. I'd be like, yo, Tange, I'm like, man, this shit is happening and this shit is happening. And she was like, well, you actually have your own crew as well. I was like, what are you talking about? And then she was like, because it was just me, her, BT, Nate, and Tahir.
That's a solid squad.
And I was like,
that's a solid squad right there.
Yeah, I guess I got my squad. And she was like, and you didn't invite everybody to this. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I did.
But the audacity.
I know their schedules. Yeah, but you didn't ask their schedule. I'm like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I was a hypocrite and I didn't even realize it. Yeah. But these things aren't bad. It's just like, one, never be afraid to pick that phone up because that phone ain't gonna pick itself up and fucking hit you in the times that you need it. Right. And two, I learned from hitting people up. Now, mind you, it ain't like I'm a fucking United Nations. I'm not about to hit every nigga up. Right. Because if I hit you up and I don't like the response to what I've hit you with, I'm not fucking with you. And what I mean is, it's like if I be like, hey, man, how's everything? Everything good? Okay, cool, man. How's your mom? Everybody good? Oh, all right, nigga. Take care. I'll never hit you up again.
Want me down, I get it. Hate that I keep winning. Stab my back is tempting.